Greetings gamers everywhere, I'm Sweepin92 and we're here in Soulstone Survivors with another build again. This is the Necromancer and this is a poison build actually, which you might have been able to guess from the title of this video. Now this is of course to defeat the Void King, as the previous video was as well. That was with the Mechanist. Now, this one is with the Necromancer, as I said, and let's go over the runes first of all. You're gonna start off with, of course, the Weapon Expert, so that you have your secondary skill, and then the Reroll Mastery and the Efficient Extraction. Now, Efficient Extraction is, of course, what I prefer to use. Then we're gonna have Extra Help, increase the summon unit. Commanding Presence, so reduces my damage but increases the damage of summons. Then we have the Sacred Offering, which is reduces maximum active units, but increases the damage of that. And Elemental Flow, which does so that all negative effects deal damage 100% more often. Now, of course, these runes, as previous build, they are not set in stone. Feel free to change anything. For example, you could pick up Harmony instead of Extra Help. The extra units in this summon poison build is not set in stone, but this is what I had at least, and I did fairly well, I would say. This is not a one-shot or one-slayer build. It's more gradual damage. The main damage is from the Skeletal Archers and Putrid Hounds, which at the end for me was kind of surprising that the Skeletal Archers did as much damage as they did. Didn't expect them to have that much damage actually. They had slightly more damage percent increase than the Putrid Hounds, but not by much really, about 50% I think. And considering that the hounds are supposed to do extra damage based on poison stacks, well, I don't know. Anyway, as you might have guessed there, yeah, the poison build is based on the hounds specifically, but also I thought the skeletal archers would be a great benefit to the team. I also have the rats that come with the weapon and the goo, the putrefy, gooey explosions. It basically makes poison explode from all your summons within a certain vicinity. And that, of course, will add to the stacks of poison. I also had Acid Rain and Pestilence. Now this is mainly because to spread poison to all enemies around me. Now, there isn't much to this build except for those abilities that I just mentioned, and then just go to town with the enemies. Now, of course, anything that increases damage of your Putrid Hounds, Skeletal Archers, nature damage is all well and good. Don't focus on any damage related to the Acid Rain or anything like that. Now, area is very good to have because you want to increase the area radius for all those types of abilities. You want your Acid Rain to cover as much as you can, you want the Putrefy to cover as much as it can when it explodes from your summons. Of course, picking up the body parts for your Ogre is very nice, but it does minimal damage in the end, so it's nothing to really focus on. What else? Yeah, of course, overall damage, area, at least a 30 to 60% increase in movement speed, I would say, because the Necromancer is a very slow character. Very powerful character. Of course, a summon build has always been very powerful in Soulstone Survivors, but this is just yet another one. I wouldn't say this is a summon build to end them all summon build, but it works for me, and I did pretty well. I did have to dodge a bit in the Void King fight, but generally he died pretty quickly, as did all the other enemies. So I'm quite pleased with this, and I also reached the top tier with the Necromancer now, so that's perfect. I'm happy with that. So let's see, what else can we say? Well, some interesting things was that the Scorpion, you know, the Scorpion Titan actually gave me specific upgrade for poison, which was interesting. So that's kind of something I'm gonna have to take into account because I didn't know that they could actually have that. So he gave me a certain poison type of upgrade that, well, I'm guessing it only relates to, or can only be acquired when you have poison as your main abilities, or poison as your in your ability, a big part of your abilities. So I didn't know that the abilities you can get from the bosses were actually depended on what kind of abilities you have. So that's something I'm gonna have to look into a little bit more, I think. Small notes, I guess, could be that I also focused a little bit on. I took I took a fair bit of extra damage in form of crit chance and crit damage, which I believe would also I believe do apply to my summons as well. I don't know what else I could really say about this build except for good luck, I guess. And of course, if you can increase the amount of summons, you increase the amount of summons you can have for hounds and archers. Oh, of course. Sorry, I almost forgot. Increase the amount of damage poison does. I did increase that by a lot. Honestly, I don't know how much difference that makes to increase the damage of the poison, but I did do that. What else? Well, except for the little bits like increasing your XP gain, the small damage increase, small multi cost and such. I don't know if there's anything else I can say really. So short video, that's perfect. I'm gonna get on right on to the next video in this series. Let's see what kind of character I'm gonna do after that, after this one. I'm Miss Weapon I 2, have a great life. Hope to see you in future videos. Bye bye.